Okay, I'm starting. All right, first one says, shh, guys, find each of the following using the right triangle to the right. Okay, so it says A is 35, so I'm going to redraw a triangle for each one of these. A is 35. I'm going to redraw this triangle 3 times. Every time there's a problem, I'm going to put one of these. But A is 35. It goes inside by A. Little b is 15. That's across from angle B. That goes over here. And it wants us to find A. So A is right here. So the 3 things that you know are the angle, this side, and this side. So you have to decide between SOHCAHTOA, which one you should use. You have to pick one of these. So what is A compared to 35? Is it the opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? It's the opposite. So write OPP there. What is the 15? Is that the adjacent or the hypotenuse? The adjacent. So which one, SOHCAHTOA, has an opposite and adjacent? It should be TOA. You guys see that? Huh? Turn off the first light. So tangent of 35 degrees, tangent of 35 degrees is equal to opposite A over adjacent 15. You guys remember that? How do I cross multiply, or what? What do I do to solve this? Cross multiply. So as long as you guys are in degrees, you'll get the same answer as me. I'm going to put the calculator here. We're going to do tan 35 times 15. So when you do tan 35, oops, I press sign. Press tangent, 35 degrees. Make sure you close the parenthesis, and then do times 15. So it looks like that. Press equals, and your answer is 10.5. That's not what you got? And you would be done. That would be it. Do you guys understand that? Mode. Go down to where it says radians and degrees. Go right arrow over to degrees. No. But it'll be on the formula sheet. You're going to formula sheet. All right, next one. Draw this right triangle again. Redraw that right triangle every time you have a problem on your test. So it looks like the one right above it. Just keep drawing it over. This is A, B, C. So in this problem, it says angle B is 65. That goes here. Side A is 16.5. That goes over here. Do you guys understand why 16.5 is over there? It's across from angle A. Yeah, it always goes across from angle A. I gotta focus this in a second. Focus. Is that better? All right. And this one, where they want us to find side C. That is the hypotenuse. Side C is the hypotenuse. So circle your angle 65. According to angle 65, let's look back over here at SOHCAHTOA. What is C? Hypotenuse. So we need something that has an H. And what is 16.5? According to 65. It is the adjacent. Opposite straight across. This is not straight across. This is opposites over here. When you're looking at 65, this is opposite. So it's not opposite. It's adjacent. It's right next to. Adjacent means next to. So we want the one that has A and H. Which one has A and H? Cosine. So we're going to go cosine of 65 equals C. Nope. Sorry. It's adjacent. Sorry. Adjacent over C. Now this time, it's going to be hard to cross multiply because the C's in the bottom. Does anyone remember the trick I told you? You switch places with these. Switch places with C and cosine of 65. Just switch places with them. Now the C's by itself, so go ahead and put that right into your calculator. 16.5 divided. So whenever C's in the bottom, you will end up dividing to get the answer. So 16.5 divided by cosine 65. So it looks like this on the calculator. Punch it in. 16.5 divided by cosine 65. Press enter, and it's 39.04. Can I round that? What should it be? 39.0 or 39.1? 39.0. So this is going to be 39. Side C is 39. Side C is 39. What do you guys think so far? Do you guys know that you could do law of sines on this one? You guys know that you could do law of sines? See this right here? You could do C over sine 90. You could figure out this angle right here, which it would be 25. You could figure out that this angle 25, and you could do law of sines right here. If you guys wanted, you get the same answer. Do you guys like law of sines? Who knows what I'm talking about? That you could do law of sines. You could do law of sines, but you don't. I'm just going to do SOHCAHTOA. As long as it's a 90-degree triangle, I'm doing SOHCAHTOA. All right, let's draw our triangle again. A, B, C. Angle B is 17. Oh, sorry. You have to tell me these things because I'm not watching. All right, so it looks like side B is 17, and side C is 19, and angle C is 90. And they want us to find angle B. I'm going to circle angle B. That's what we're trying to find. So we're going to use SOHCAHTOA again because it's a 90-degree triangle. What side is 17? Adjacent, opposite, or hypotenuse? Opposite. It's opposite B. What side is 19? Hypotenuse. Are you guys good with knowing that? So which one are we going to use? Which one involves O and H? Look at SOHCAHTOA. It's sine. So you're going to go sine B equals opposite 17 over hypotenuse 19. Who knows what to do when you're trying to find an angle? What do we have to press? How do I get rid of the sign? Yeah, remember the inverse? Sine inverse? Yeah, it's called arc sine or sine inverse. So you're going to do sine inverse to both sides. That'll cancel the sine. So angle B, to get this answer, you're going to have to press second. So you have to press second. See this little second key right here? Oh, can you guys see what I'm doing? Second. Press second, then sine. So it looks like this on your calculator. Has a sign with a little -1. And then put 17 divided by 19. So arc sine of 17 over 19. This is going to be an angle. Answer 63.5 degrees. That is 63.5 degrees if you round up. 63.5 degrees. Okay, going to number 4. A, B, C again. Angle A, we are trying to find angle A, circle that. So side A is 13 and side B is 10. Fill them in. Does everyone understand why I'm putting 13 where I'm putting it and why I'm putting 10 where I'm putting it?
Are you going to have the example triangle on the test?
Yes, I'll have an example triangle on the test. All right, guys, which one am I using, SOHCAHTOA or TOA? What is 13 according to A? What is 13? Opposite. What is 10? Adjacent. Which one's the opposite over the adjacent? Tangent. So we're going to go tan A equals 13 over 10. That's opposite over adjacent. How do I get rid of the tan? Tan inverse. Both sides. So whenever you're solving for an angle, this is what you have to do. So you're going to press second tangent 13 divided by 10. And it's 52.4 degrees. Arc tangent of 13 over 10. Oh, it just got dark. Why did it get so dark? Oh, here it comes. So it's 52.4. I kind of ran into my other answer. That's from the first one. So it's 52.4. Who understands SOHCAHTOA right now? All right, so number 5 is going to be a SOHCAHTOA word problem. Number 5 and number 6 are both SOHCAHTOA word problems. So we need to draw a triangle. Without even reading the problem, guys, I'm drawing a right triangle. Without even reading the problem, I'm drawing a right triangle. A ladder on top of a 10-foot fire truck is extended at an angle of elevation of 50 degrees. Where does the 50 degrees go? Where does angle of elevations always go? Where AJ? bottom left. Angle of elevations or depressions always go bottom left across from the 90. So a ladder on top of a 10-foot truck is extended at an angle of 50 degrees to reach the top of a burning building. So this is the building, and it's burning. This is the ladder, right? Ladders are tilted. They lean up against the building. How long is the ladder extended if the building is 85 foot tall? Oh, they're telling us the building's 85. Now there underneath this is a 10-foot fire truck, right? So this is 10 of it. This is a little tricky. So what do we know? If the building's 85 but the fire truck's 10. The whole bottom is 10. I'm going to redraw this. So we have, here's our fire truck. It's 10 feet high, and we have a ladder up against an 85-foot building. So I still use the 85? How about I just give you the picture, and then you don't have to worry about. Let's forget the fire truck. Let's pretend like there's no fire truck. I'll give you the picture tomorrow. Just pretend there's no fire truck. Let's just pretend this is an 85-foot building. How long does a ladder have to be to reach the top of this building? To get the last person out of the top building? What do we have to do to get this, solve for this ladder? Circle your 50. Circle your 85 and circle your C. What is 85? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? Opposite. This is blurry again, right? 85 is opposite. What is C? Hypotenuse. So which one deals with opposite and hypotenuse? So go sine 50 equals 85 over C. What do we have to do, guys? Switch these two right here. Switch them. So I need room. Let's go down here. So C equals 85 over sine 50. C equals, I'm doing right here, 85 over sine 50. So go to your calculators. Take 85 divided by sine 50. Answer is 110.95. So the 5 rounds the 9 to a 0. And the 0 rounds the 0 to a 1. So this should be 111 feet. The ladder is 111 feet long. Whenever C is in the bottom, the whole, like if you were cross multiplying, I'll show you the whole work. Sine 50 times C looks like this. Sine 50 times C, and then you would go 85 times 1, like that. This is the algebra part of it, like if you cross multiplied. And if you're solving for C, you'd have to divide by sine 50. So this is what you're going to be doing. So it's just like a little shortcut. Whenever C is in the bottom, you just switch places with these two. All right, how far is the base of the building, guys? How far is it from here to here? So let's draw what we know. Right now, we know that this is 111. We know this is 85. We know this is 50. We know this is 90. You actually know that if you wanted to, you can know that that's 40. We know everything except how far you are from the base of the building. I just did 90 minus 50. 180 minus 90 minus 50. I'm just saying you could know that quickly in your head because it's 3 angles of a triangle equal 180. So basically, the only thing we don't know is what we're solving for right here. Someone tell me one way we could find for x. You could do SOHCAHTOA or you could do law of sines. SOHCAHTOA. Okay, pick 50. Circle your 50. X is adjacent. So you want 85 or 111? Pick one. You want to use 85 or 111?
111.
So 111 is the hypotenuse. So you would use cosine of 50 is adjacent x over hypotenuse 111. 111 is the one we just found, but we can still use that in our calculations. And this one, you just have to cross multiply. Cosine 50 times 111. Oops, I forgot my 0. Cosine 50 times 111. So it looks like that. And the answer is 71. 71 feet. 71.3 feet. 71.3 feet. Now, number 6, I gave you guys a picture. So read it. The aerial run in Snowbird, Utah has an angle of elevation of 20.2. This is a real place. Its vertical drop is 2,900. That's very steep. Find the length of the run of the skier. So you're trying to find this. But you know this and you know this. So which part of SOHCAHTOA would I use on this one? What is 2,900? According to 20.2, what is 2,900? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse?
Opposite.
And what is the L? Hypotenuse. So we want which one? Sine. So you're going to go sine 20.2 equals opposite over hypotenuse, L. What should I do? Do I cross multiply or do I have to switch places? Switch places. L comes over here. So punch that in your calculator, 2,900. Divided by sine 20.2. Looks like this on your calculator. 2,900 divided by sine 20.2. Answer is very, ooh, that's a long run. 8,398.5 feet. That is quite a ways. Let's put that in perspective of a football field. A football field is 300 feet, right? 100 yards.
120.
Including end zones. That's right. I'm not going to do it. Huh? Oh. What? Oh, move the calculator. I thought you said, can I see the calculator? Yes. How many people understand the first page? That's all SOHCAHTOA. That's none of the stuff we did last week. So now we got to start doing stuff we did last week. Yep, we did that a week and a half ago. All right, solve the following triangles. Now, we don't know if we're using law of sines or law of cosines until we actually draw this. So the rest of these guys are all general triangles. Everyone draw a general triangle. ABC. Angle A, fill everything in that you know. Angle A is 75. Angle B is 50. Little a is 7. Basically, if you're given two sides, you're going to do law of cosines. And if you're given two angles, you're going to do law of sines. So if you know two angles, this is really going to be AAS. That means if you're given two angles, you're always going to use law of sines. Anytime you're given two angles, you're using law of sines. So if you know two angles, you really know three. How do we find the third angle? Okay, so we're doing 180 minus 75 minus 50. That is 55. Everyone go ahead and fill in the third angle. Now, we are only solving, it says solve the triangle, guys. I am not making you solve the whole triangle tomorrow. So let's just pick something you want to solve for. Wednesday. Do you guys want to solve for B or C? I don't care. B? Everyone, we're solving for B. We will pick. Solve for B. So we're solving for B. So which angles do we need? What's the one that you know? Which ratio do you know, the side and its angle? There's only one of them that you know, the side and angle. A. This is the only one we know both parts. We definitely are using the A ratio. So it's 7 over sine 75. It's law of sines. You weren't here, so you have to watch the video. Law of sines. A ratio over the B ratio, which is right here. So you're going to go B over sine 50. So you do side over sine of the angle. Now, we're going to cross multiply first. We're going to go 7 sine 50 divided by sine 75. You always divide by the one across from the letter. 7 times sine 50 divided by the one across from B. And you're going to punch that in your calculator. So if you guys know how to do your fraction key, if you don't, guys, listen. Well, 7 sine 50. Close your parenthesis. Close your parenthesis. Divided by sine 75. 5.55 is 5.6. Side B is 5.6. Draw another triangle. Number 8. 5.6. Those people that weren't here, this was taught on Monday of last week. You're going to have to watch the video on law of sines so you understand that. Angle A is 62 degrees. Side B is 6. Side C is 8. Whenever they give you two sides, you're going to be doing law of cosines. So this one is SAS. Side, angle, side. Two sides given. You're going to be using law of cosines. So if you have your law of cosine notes out, you can look at the formulas. Law of cosines, we are going to be solving for little a. Everyone put at the end, solve for a. That's what we're solving for, a. So a equals, it's a big square root. The formula is side squared plus side squared. So it doesn't matter which one's which. So but we're going to go 6 squared plus 8 squared. Then it's minus 2 times the side times the side. So you have side squared plus side squared minus 2 times each of the two sides times the big old cosine of the only angle that you know. Cosine is 62. This is a straight calculator problem. So let's get our calculators out.
Why didn't you do the same thing we did for the last one?
Because when you know two sides, you use law of cosines. If you know two angles, you use law of sines. Square root. Two angles, law of sines. Two sides, law of cosines. I'll be here after school, Jordan, if you want to go over this stuff.
Is it 7.4?
This is what it looks like on the calculator, if you can see this. This is how I punch in the calculator. You see the 3 times? There's one plus, 1 minus, and 3 times. 1 plus, 1 minus, 3 times. Answer is 7.4. So side A is 7.4. Okay, triangle number 3, ABC. We are going to solve for angle C. Everyone everyone say solve for angle C. I will change the test. I'm not going to have you solve the whole triangle. It's too long. Angle C. Here, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be on your test. You will look for this. Cosine C is equal to a squared plus b squared minus c squared over 2ab. This is one of the formulas from law of cosines. Because we know all 3 sides, we're using law of cosines again. But it's a different law of cosines. It's the one I put on your notes at the bottom right. I manipulated the formula to look like this. This really is the formula we just used, but I've manipulated it so that this angle's by itself over here. So when you go to put this in your calculator, guys, a squared is 4 squared, b squared is 7 minus 10 squared over 2 times 4 times 7. You don't have class ever? You don't class first or second period? Or third period? If you have class right now, you need to be in your class. Okay. All right, guys, when you punch this in the calculator, if you do not have a fraction key, these parentheses are going to be key to this problem. You have to group the top and you have to group the bottom. You're going to get a decimal. Make sure all the top's in parentheses before you press divided by, and make sure the bottom is in parentheses. Make sure the top and bottom are surrounded by parentheses. Did you guys get that decimal? That is not an angle, right? But that's the value of the angle, so let me write that down. So right now we have cosine C equals negative 0.625. What do I do to get rid of the word cos? Cos inverse. Whenever you're finding an angle, you have to do cos inverse. So we are going to press second cosine. Go up and highlight. Press enter twice. Your angle is 128.7 degrees. So we just did one of each type there, law of sines, and then we did 2 law of cosines. So now there's a word problem, which I can't even see, but let's look. Everyone take a second to look at that word problem. All the stuff's filled in. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we're going to start it. All right, guys, it looks like the triangle is drawn. Everything you have is needed here. This is 41. It says this is 20 and this is 28, and you're solving for this. Do you know 2 angles or do you know 2 sides? We know 2 sides. But the angle's not included. So we have to figure something out here. Do we know anything else? I think we're going to bag this problem because they didn't give us the angle that we needed. Forget this problem, guys. They didn't give you enough information. The next one we do have enough information. Everyone look really quick. Is this an SAS? Yeah. That's an SAS, and we're solving for this thing across here? Yeah. From the helicopter pad to the hospital? So you can do law of cosines. And I will finish this video. I'm going to continue right now, and then I'll post this period. So S is equal to your side. Please return my calculators.
Is this wrong? Can I come in after school?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's side squared plus side squared minus 2 times side times cosine of 130. So we're going to punch that in the calculator. Square root of 45 squared. Watch the videos. If you were missing last week, watch the videos.
I think I'm going to come in after school.
Okay.
Is that a candle? Is that even better? Why are you kind of Bath and Body Works?
Oh, sorry, it's not an angle. Thanks.
No problem.
It's not an angle. Sorry, guys. It's 86.1. And this should be in miles. So the medical rescue helicopter has flown from its home base to a point C to pick up an accident victim from this car accident. And then from there to the hospital to point B, we know it's 45 miles. The pilot needs to know how far he is from his home base so he can decide whether to refuel before returning. He needs to know this before he needs to know if he has to refuel. How far is the hospital from the helicopter's base? So we did law of cosine. Okay, that's the first page. Now we're doing the second page, or the third page, I should say. This is the areas.
I'll just take it.
So this is these are the areas. This is from Friday's notes. So there's 3 area formulas. So we need to know which one to use. So this one, it says a triangle-shaped lot has side lengths 130, 150, and 80. Okay, so you draw this triangle. It says, what is the largest angle measure from the lots? What is the largest angle measure from the lot? That would be this angle right here. We'll call it angle theta. What is the largest angle? So actually, this is not an area formula. They just want us to find the angle. This is law of cosines. So you'd say cosine of theta is equal to side plus side minus the opposite side of the angle you're solving for over 2 times 130 times 80. So the first thing you're going to do is figure out this angle using law of cosines. I'm making a video. So we have parenthesis 1, let me get rid of this, parenthesis 130 squared plus the other side, which is 80 squared, minus that large side, 150 squared, close your parentheses, divided by parenthesis 2 times 130 times 80. These are the 2 sides that were not across from the angle. So you're going to get a decimal. And right now it's going to say cosine theta is equal to 0.03846. So the decimal I got. So we have to do, whenever you're solving for an angle, you're going to end up doing inverse cosine. So we're going to press second cosine, go up and highlight, press enter, enter, and you get 87.8 degrees. So this right here is 87.8 degrees. Okay. Now, what is the area of a lot? You have choices here. You had 3 sides, or you have SAS. Let's do the SAS. The area of, if you know, side, angle, side is 1/2 the side times the sine of the angle. That's included. Included angles. This angle is included between these 2 sides. So you're going to go 1/2 130 times 80 times sine of 87.8 degrees. I always type in 0.5 when I do 1/2. Times sine of 87.8 is 5,196.2. That's the area, and we're going to go units squared. This was in meters, so we're going to go meters squared. Areas, you always do units squared. All right, so this one, find the area of ABC. If A is 34, B is 12, and C is 6. So this is SAS again. This is the same formula we just used. So the area is 1/2 side times sine of the angle. 0.5 times 6 times 12 times sine of 34. 20.1 units squared. Here's another one. Angle B is 49 degrees, angle C is 32 degrees, and side A is 10. When you know 2 angles, you really know 3 angles, so we're going to find our third angle first by taking 180 minus 49 minus 32. So this is 99. We're going to fill this in. So when you know 3 angles, the formula is, for the area, is 1/2 the side squared times sine of an angle, sine of an angle, sine of an angle. But the side that you know is A, so it's going to be like A squared, If this is side A, you want angle A to be on the bottom and B and C to be up top. So this is 1/2 side A, which is 10. We are dividing by the angle across from 10, which is 99. That's the one we divide by. The other two angles go on the top, and it doesn't matter which one's first. Make sure the 99 is on the bottom because that's the angle across from side 10. Now when you punch this in the calculator, I punch all the top part in first. So we're going to do 0.5 times 10 squared times sine of one angle, which is 49, close your parentheses, times sine of the other angle, which is 32, close your parentheses, and press equals, and then press divided by sine of 99. 20.2 is the area. We're going to write units squared. All right, so this 15. Consider this quadrilateral ABCD. Find the length of BD. So we're going to look at this information right here. Let's ignore this right here. I'm going to look just at this part. Oops, you can't see what I'm doing. There's a lot of information given in this quadrilateral, but you have to use the part that has the angle. So we're not even going to look at 13 and 12. I don't care about 13 and 12. I do care, however, that I have an SAS. Whenever you know SAS, you can use law of cosines. So we'll call this side, well, we'll call it side BD. So side BD is equal to, law of cosines is this is the big square root one. Side squared plus side squared minus 2 times side times cosine, sine, because it's law of cosines, cosine is 70. Answer is 11.6. So that's how long it is, 11.6. That's the diagonal. Find the total area of the figure. So we're probably going to have to find areas of both of these. Probably first this one, then this one. So what do we know on this one? Let's look at this one first. This is a side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. And the area of that, we'll call this part 1. Area of part 1 is 1/2 side times sine of your angles. Whenever you do areas, you always use sine. So this is 1/2 side, sine of the angle. So we're going to punch that in. That'll be the area of triangle 1. So 0.5 times 41 times 29 times sine of 35. 340.99, which is about 341. So this is centimeters squared. This is triangle 1. This whole triangle is 341 centimeters squared, the whole area. Triangle 1 has an area of 341 centimeters squared. Now, what do we know about the second one? We also know side, angle, side. So side angle would be 1/2 side, which 41's in both triangles. You see this? 41. So that's this side. This is the other side, 47 times sine of 30. So we're going to go 0.5 times side times the other side times sine of 30. 481.75. So this one's 481.75. And your final answer, the area of the whole thing, is these two added up. So I think I'll just use that previous answer plus the first answer I got, 341. My total area is 822.75 centimeters squared. That's the area of the whole thing. And that's it for the review.